given that all junior explorers started where you did and wanted to achieve the same things, what precisely were the conversations that you had to be able to get the funds in? Why do people believe you, saying pretty much the same thing as other juniors do, to give you the capital to achieve the things that you've done?
I think, I guess, simply about, I guess we're going back now, about a year and a half ago now, we're almost getting up to, I sat down with the shareholders at that point. And so, when I joined, I looked at what had been happening at the mine. I thought, there's a great opportunity here at the mine, and that will be something in the future. But that was like 1 or 2 square kilometers of 325 square kilometers of land. The most exciting thing when I joined the company was that the previous operators, whilst they'd all focused on the mine, their geologists had actually put in place these licenses covering 20 kilometers of this belt based on just on geophysics. And so I guess this comes down to this whole point. I'd probably looked at, 1,000 odd projects, hundreds of companies over the years. So you're always, we didn't do a lot of exploration investing because the risk return profile is quite frightening when you look at it. But we were technical, we were looking at great areas. So, okay, where would I want to put my money if it was mine investing? So every now and again, you'd see companies that held what we call sort of belt scale packages of the land that you thought would be really prospective. So that's when you'd do it and you'd support that exploration company over time. Rupert Resources had that, and they'd acquired it for nothing at the bottom of the market, $2 million or $2.5 million. So they had all that in the company. But they just so far only focused around the mine, just like the previous owners. So I guess I went to them and demonstrated financially what the potential return profile could be if you started exploring beyond it and have success. And it's quite, I guess, if you take out all the glamour of the exploration, it's actually quite simple maths about how you work out the sort of semi-returns. So you just get to a point where it's going to cost you X amount of money to find a 1 million ounce deposit. If you look historically at all the data, you can work out how much it's going to cost you. But we had distinct advantages at Rupert Resources. The previous owners had done exploration. Finland is a fantastic jurisdiction. The geophysics comes for free. So we had, let's say in simple terms, it could cost you $80 million to find a 2 million ounce deposit. We already had $50 million of sunk cost that we got for free. So we weren't starting off with a typical junior with nothing, with a sort of dreaming or that this looks quite interesting. So we had that. But I said, but I knew that we could explore relatively efficiently. So I said, I'd like you to give me 12 months to do regional exploration rather than spend any more money at the mine. And it's going to cost X $million, effectively $15 million. So whilst they were nervous about it in terms of that, but we were able to put money in at regional valuation. Our market cap there was $100 million, so it wasn't that dilutive to do that. And in the end, they said, okay, well, I'll give you half, and then we'll see how you go in 6 months, and then we'll go on next. And so we started the process. We worked out a method that works best to do the exploration, and with a relatively short time frame, we brought in some very experienced people to help, in terms of to look over our shoulders that we know from the industry. So, does this have the potential? And so relatively quickly from starting the regional exploration, within 6 months, we'd started to get some interesting results, and that's it. And the proof of concept was coming. And actually, from that point on, we were able to then go and ultimately attract external capital, like Nico Eagle investing, because they saw that our approach was working quite quickly. So I guess it's about focusing on what could be the sort of exponential star returns that you can generate if you're successful, but also we were fortunate that we had strong supporters and also a capital structure that wasn't overly diluted in the first place. Our shareholders' capital where we started out was I think it was in the order of $60 million of money raised in the company historically. Rupert Resources had about $30-40 million raised before it went to Finland. So we had a good capital structure to do it in as well. So we could raise a small amount of money, prove the point, and then that gave people more conviction that the returns might be there, those exponential style returns. And then I guess history is then, as over the last 12 months, we've demonstrated that, repeat that process and it works.